patrons! Very different setup today. We're on the floor. Welcome to the floor. So, the two Penelope videos that came out last week or whatever. When I posted the first one, so I think I've explained this kind of thing before, but I'll explain this again just in case anybody has never heard of this. So, when you post a video on YouTube, within the first 30 minutes gives it a ranking of 1 through 10. And it's not just like a random thing. What the ranking is based on is views it has since it has been posted compared to how your other last 10 videos had done. Like how many views they got. So let's say it's in the first hour and it updates live, right? But let's just say it's in the first hour. If I post one video and it gets 1,000 views in an hour, and that's the only video I've ever posted, then that's my number one. If I then post another video and it gets 10,000 views in an hour, then that's my number one. But if you've posted 10 videos and you post another one and it only gets 500 views in an hour, then that's your number 10. So when you hit a 10, that's like the worst thing you can hit as a YouTuber. When you first post a video, hitting a 10 is not good, especially when everybody says that like the first hour matters so much to like how many views the video gets in the first hour matters so much to how it will do in the algorithm. But the beautiful thing about YouTube is sometimes you can hit a 10 and then it can just go, wait a minute, this video's good. And then it gets more views. So when I posted the first Penelope video, so there were two of them. One of them's just me making the dress, and the other one is the one I did lots of beautiful little animations in. And they got separated mostly because I took a sponsor for the Cosplay Jeopardy video, and that sponsor had a view guarantee, like, requirement. Like, the video that I put that sponsorship on was supposed to be guaranteed a certain amount of views, and that video did terribly. That was also a 10. And was never going to hit the views that it was supposed to get. And when you don't hit the views that you're supposed to get, you have to do a makeup video. So you have to give them another sponsor spot again without being paid for it. So the Penelope video turned into 2 videos, and I obviously haven't ever posted a video that's just me talking about a piece of media. So it was one of those things where it was either going to do like well or really, really, really bad. But I had several people watch the video before it went up. I had Pins and Snip watch it and Joe watched it, and they all thought it was really, really great. But then it went up and it was a 10. And it was like, this video's doing terribly. What? And so then I ignored it for like the whole week because I was like, I know that video is good. Me looking at these numbers being bad is not going to do anything. Like, it can always turn around, but sitting here being sad about it being a 10 upon launch is not going to help it at all. And I did change the thumbnail. I think somebody just asked, is that why people change titles and thumbnails? Absolutely. That is why that happens. That's why, I often change the title or the thumbnail several times if a video's not doing well. On that video, I changed the thumbnail. The original thumbnail didn't have me in it. And then I changed it to one of my backup thumbnails that did have me in it. Because I made like 6 thumbnails for that thing. Which I usually do. I usually have a couple backup thumbnails. Because they matter a lot. If you don't know, I think most people know this, but like, the thumbnail and the title are like the single most important factor to how well a video... Oh, sorry. I had to get my needle. That'll just have to be how we get the needle back. Anywho. Yeah, the thumbnail and the title are like the single most important like factors on how the video is going to do well. It doesn't matter like how good of a video, like obviously the video also has to be good for people to want to watch it, but you have to get people to click on it, you know? But then, look at it now. It's got like 140,000 views because the algorithm was like, oh, this video is actually pretty good. We're gonna show it to people, which is also proof. All it takes to turn a YouTube algorithm around is to just make really good content. I know I'm kind of gassing myself up here, but I genuinely believe that that is a really good video. I put a lot of love and heart into it. Even if you don't, like, agree with the stuff that I say, it's still a good and funny video. And it's sort of, everyone be afraid, because that video getting at least 100,000 views is enough to prove to me that I can make videos about whatever the f I want. Which is wonderful. I love cosplay. I will continue to always make videos about cosplay. But I'm also a little tired of making right now, and I kind of want to just make videos about whatever the I want. But I also really like getting to animate a book. If I was gonna animate another book that I potentially don't like, what books would y'all like to see covered? Because I am apparently in my book reading era now. I have not been an avid reader ever. But now I'm on the audiobook train and I haven't gotten off. What books that I would potentially not like? Because I like the element of being angry at the book. I'm good reading trash. I'm good. What trash should I animate and yell at? American Gods and then do Good Omens to see the best and worst of Neil Gaiman's writing. Is American Gods, like, the book that Good Omens is based on? Because I've seen Good Omens. Is the book not good? Good Omens is the best, and American Gods made me rethink my stance on harming books. That's interesting. Sci-fi not on the table, otherwise I would say We Are Legion, We Are Bob. I don't know if I would want to read sci-fi. Also, okay, this is a funny thing. Okay, I was just talking about the algorithm and, like, you know, having to deal with the algorithm not corresponding to the quality of your work. But I gotta tell y'all a story that has nothing to do with anyone I even know. But it's another story of somebody getting the TikTok flu. So yesterday Joe had some of his friends over, and Joe has this friend that is like, he loves finding really weird, cringy stuff on TikTok. And he apparently has a friend who recently went viral on TikTok. And I was like, oh no, did they get the TikTok flu? And if you don't know, the TikTok flu is when somebody goes viral on TikTok and then immediately thinks they're super famous and won't stop posting on TikTok, and they just progressively get way too into this perceived notion of fame. And, you know, sometimes people go viral on TikTok and they actually get some kind of fame. But, you know, a lot of times it's a video people see and then they never think about it again. Well, this guy was I would argue to say that this guy didn't even go viral. So the guy I'm talking about is a friend of Joe's friend. I don't know this man. I don't know anything about him. But apparently he's got the TikTok flu. And Joe's friend showed me the TikTok that went viral, and this thing had 100,000 views on it on TikTok. 100,000 views on YouTube is a lot of views on YouTube. You can sneeze and get 100,000 views on TikTok? And the guy only had like 300 followers. And he had posted, like, he apparently had been complaining that, oh, my video, it didn't get any views. But it's like, dude, you have 300 followers on TikTok. What are you expecting? What? I didn't realize that, like, I don't know, do people just not understand that numbers are insanely inflated on TikTok? Because I guess they don't. Has anyone had any friends get the TikTok flu? Has anyone had the TikTok flu? Be honest. Have any of you ever contracted the TikTok flu? It's okay if you have. I definitely at some point had the Instagram flu. I definitely at some point thought I was hot from just Instagram. Shelby says, I had almost 10K followers on TikTok a few years ago from posting cringy anime stuff. I mean, yeah, I had a reel get 3 million views and it made me want to set the app on fire. Yeah, Alyssa, you're a little too mature to get the Instagram flu. Now my followers are 60% men and I have regrets. I'm so sorry. Not TikTok, but Twitter. A girl in my class thought she was famous because she got into an argument about outlets in classrooms with the university on Twitter. Emma, who is the smartest of all of us, says, I've never been on TikTok and never will. Def didn't have a TikTok leave containment, though. Ooh, you're going to GalaxyCon Raleigh. How is GalaxyCon? I think at some point, I get, like, emails from them. I think they asked me to guest like a long time ago, like pre-YouTube, and I don't think I didn't go, but I still get emails from them. You love it. The GalaxyCon has tons of they have tons of cosplay guests. They have lots of guests, period. Please come to GalaxyCon Raleigh. I might go one year. The only cons I have planned for this year are MomoCon, which I already went to, and Hallmat, which is in December. So I once again ask for your cosplay hot takes or your unpopular cosplay opinions. Give me your unpopular cosplay opinions, because the last time we did that was funny. Hot take. Deadpool's appearing in every fandom isn't funny. Isn't as funny as the Deadpool thinks it is. I completely agree. I don't think that the Deadpool cosplay has been funny since like 2010. I think it was kind of funny in 2010 and it hasn't been funny since. And when you see somebody in a Deadpool cosplay, you're just like, get away from me, please. Hot take, but if you're recording a TikTok in public and dancing in an area without people, you should not complain when people run into you because you're taking up space that it's not meant for. Yeah. Y'all remember, you know, like 5 years ago when that was not a thing? When you would not just see people, and they never have a tripod. Why do they never have a tripod? They always are sitting their phone up against the wall and backing up and then doing the TikTok dance, and it's like, why don't you just have a tripod? What are you doing? You obviously care enough to do a TikTok. Why don't you have a tripod? They're so cheap. Hot take, they should ban people from taking pictures of cosplayers in Artist Alley and dealers' halls. Like stopping a cosplayer in a walkway for a pic. I 100% agree with you. I don't know if they need to fully ban it, but I think they need to heavily discourage people from stopping to take pictures of cosplay in the dealer's room. And I also... Actually, that also reminds me of this other thing I saw, and this is a little... This was a weird feeling I had when I saw this video. If anyone's familiar with the channel... I think it's called Swell Entertainment. She's done a couple videos about cons and stuff, but she mostly goes, like, she has had previously mostly gone to, like, the YouTuber conventions, like VidCon and stuff, and reviewed those. And then she did a video about Anime Expo. And obviously she made a lot of points about what's wrong with Anime Expo. It's one of the most, like, crowded cons in the world. Which is one of the reasons why I've never gone. It's also across the country from me. But in that video, because I don't watch a whole lot of her videos, but I watched that one. And in it, she was, like, complaining about cosplayers being in the dealer's room in their big cosplays and, like, not being aware of the people around them. And it just, like, it's a fair point to make. She's not wrong. I also agree that if you're in a giant cosplay, you probably should not go into the dealer's room because you're in a giant cosplay. One, because you take up more space, and two, because people are probably going to want to take pictures of you, and that's going to slow down the crowd. But to hear that from somebody that doesn't cosplay felt really wrong. Like, it's one thing for me to say that as somebody that has worn a big cosplay and has had that experience of walking through crowds and walking through a dealer's room in a big cosplay and causing a traffic jam by being in a big cosplay in the dealer's room. It just rubbed me so the wrong way to hear somebody that has no experience with cosplay or these kinds of conventions say that and fully blame the cosplayer for it and not, like, suggest that maybe the con should be responsible for who they allow into the dealer's room. Joe didn't think I had a valid point. Shelby says, that's valid. I don't like people outside of cosplay spaces commenting on cosplays. Like, she's not wrong, but I think she could have said it in a way that didn't kind of piss me off. Hot take, if cosplay contest is filling up so quick, getting in the contest itself basically becomes a contest. The entries should be juried. Highly agree. I think some of you are Atlanta local people, and MomoCon had that this year where, like, it was really hard for people to even get in the contest. And I personally recommended, both in the survey after MomoCon and to the costume director herself, that MomoCon needs an online sign-up form for the costume contest. I feel like cons should make it clear when the spots have been filled, so you know you're on the wait list. Yeah. I wish costume contests weren't the Wild West, you know? Like, they're all different. They all have different rules. You kind of, unless you've done them before, or you know somebody that has, or you've, like, looked up a video of a previous one, you never know if it's, like, good and gets good judges that are credible and knowledgeable, or if they're getting, like, voice actors or something to judge it. Like, you never know what you're gonna get. And I wish we had some kind of standardization. It's time to unionize! We're making a costume contest union! The Costume Contest Greater Authority says, please always have an online form. Please. Get actual cosplayers to do the pre-judging. There's also room for costume contests that are just for, like, people that don't make their costumes, that are just, you know, the fun, like, walk-on-y kinds. I think those are also important because there's plenty of people that don't make their costumes and still want something to go do and be proud of their costume in, or people that, like, thrift stuff and just put them together. But for craftsmanship stuff, I feel like we need a union. We need a craftsman union. We need a guild. That's what it is. Hot take, if you go to people queuing for the dealer's room and then you are the next one in line and then leave to take a cosplay pic, you lose your place. Well, I mean, do you mean like stepping slightly out of line to lean over to take somebody's picture, or do you mean like fully leaving? Because I feel like if you lean over to take somebody's picture, if you step out of line for just a second, I don't think you lost your place. I don't think we have to expect people to, you know, wait in lines in a way that they can't do anything or leave. Like, I think you should be able to go use the bathroom and then come back to a line. Especially if you have somebody else, like, standing there. Or even if you don't, if you're just like, hey, I really need to pee. Is it okay if I leave the line and come back? I feel like that should be allowed. I mean, if they ask you to watch their spot, that's pretty normal. My group normally has one person who just cannot stand for too long, so one person will wait in line and then we will switch off. Yeah, that's my thing with lines, is lines suck. And I think the only thing you can do wrong in a line is cutting. But if you have to leave and come back because you can't stand for that long, or you have to pee and maybe you don't have a bladder that can hold it, or you want to lean over and take somebody's photo. Oh, somebody's saying leave. Oh, you mean like leave for a photo shoot? Yeah, no, that's oh yeah, if somebody comes up, because I can imagine this scenario happening. If somebody comes up and is a photographer and is like, hey, can I take a couple pictures of you? And you leave line, and then you're going over there, you're going across the con to go take pictures with some rando photographer, and then you come back and expect to have your spot? No. But if you see a really cool cosplay and you, like, run a couple feet to go, hey, can I take your picture? I feel like that's totally fair. Okay, y'all tell me, what is the worst line behavior you have ever experienced? Because I'm trying to think if I've ever been at a con where I witnessed, like, terrible line behavior. Actually, I have. Oh no, actually, the worst line behavior ever, if you want to be angry beyond belief about people cutting in line, try waiting in the traffic for the Georgia Renaissance Festival, where they have no police out there to try and help the traffic be fair, and people are just cutting in line, in the car line, constantly, and so you're just stuck forever waiting in the car to go park at the Ren Fair. Ooh. Somebody says, former Disney cast member, worst line behavior I've seen is people sending one person to wait in line and then their party of 4 joins them in the front. Oof. Thanks for watching this year-old Patreon stream re-upload. If you want to see the Patreon streams actually live or in full, then you can check out my Patreon, because you can get access for just $1 a month. And a big thank you to Mel, or Pocket Leaves, who's editing these streams down for me so I can focus on my main channel videos. You can check out Mel's work on either their channel Pocket Leaves or Pocket Cons, and sometimes you'll even see me in their con vlogs. It's a special occurrence when it happens. But as always, if you're just watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, then you're supporting this channel too. So thank you. Bye!